Vande Devamumapatim Suragurum Vande Jagatkaranam Vande Pannagabhushanam Mrigadharam Vande Pashunam Patim Vande Surya Shashankavanhi Nayanam Vande Mukunda Priyam Vande Bhakta Janashrayam Cha Varadam Vande Shivam Shankaram Vande Bhakta Janashrayam Cha Varadam Vande Shivam Shankaram. Let us chant together the first 3 verses. Shambho Mahadeva Deva Shiva Shambho Mahadeva Devesha Shambho Shambho Mahadeva Deva Shambho Mahadeva Deva Shiva Shambho Mahadeva Devesha Shambho Shambho Mahadeva Deva Phalavanam Ratkiritam Phalanetrarchisha Dagdha Pancheshu Kirtam Shulahatarati Kutam Shuddhamardhendu Chudam Bhaje Margabandhum Shambho Mahadeva Deva Shiva Shambho Mahadeva Devesha Shambho Shambho Mahadeva Deva Ange Virajat Bhujangam Abhraganga Taranga Bhiramotamangam Omkaravati Kurangam Shuddha Samsevitangrim Bhaje Margabandhum Shambho Mahadeva Deva Shiva Shambho Mahadeva Devesha Shambho Shambho Mahadeva Deva Nityam Chidananda Rupam Ninhuta Shesha Lokesha Vairi Pratapam Kartaswaragendra Chapam Krittivasam Bhaje Divya Sanmarga Bandhum Shambho Mahadeva Deva Shiva Shambho Mahadeva Devesha Shambho Shambho Mahadeva Deva Shiva Shambho Mahadeva Deva. So here we have seen in verse number 3 the episode of the Lord destroying the pride of Ravana and also the killing of the 3 asuras, the 3 demons in the 3 cities, which they thought were protected from any damage, any hurt, any killing. And so Lord Shiva, as Tripurantaka, another name for Lord Shiva is Tripurantaka, the one who destroyed the 3 cities. And not because he carried a big army of support system. With a mere smile, he burned down those cities, and if he shot the arrow, it was more to respect the laws, his own universe. He need not comply by the laws. He need not comply by anything that he has created, because it's his creation. but then he shoots the arrow at the burning cities. He did not shoot the arrow earlier to show the devatas what? Well, that I can do this without all of you. Because of their pride that we are going to help this great Lord burn down the cities. And therefore, giving a message, also humbling them and burning down the demons. Thus we find that cosmic being, that effulgent being, is one who keeps both in their measure. Both the devatas and the asuras, these opposites, that power that can contain both is the omniscient being. There is a lot to be said here. There is a lot to understand here of the nature of omniscience. Well, after that story, we have one more word which says Krittivasam. Krittivasam. Bhaje. Bhaje, I worship Krittivasam. Krittivasam means Krittihi Vasaha Yasya. So the one who dresses himself in the bark of the trees, in the bark of the trees. So no one dresses, your clothes. What clothes are you wearing? I'm wearing the bark of the trees. It's not seen. In no stage in life you wear tree bark, Neither in the childhood, nor in adulthood, nor in middle age, nor in old age does anybody wear bark of trees. So what does this wearing the bark of trees symbolize? It symbolizes the Lord as one who doesn't belong to any of the four stages of life. Life lived, he is one who is free, he is one who transcends all the ashrama, he is one who transcends all the varna ashramas, the one who transcends any framework of living life, because he is the very life. And therefore, representing him wearing the tree bark is representation of transcendence. And so Krittivasam Bhaje, I worship that Lord. Who is he? Divya Margabandhu. He is a friend of a marga, a journey, a path. What path? Divya Marga. Divya Marga means the sacred path, what we call the solar path, the solar path, not the lunar path. He is the one who carries the Sanmarga. What is Sanmarga? A Mahajanaha Yena Gataha Sapantha. So Sanmarga is that path which is walked by the saintly people, the noble people, the devotees. And when they live that path, even with the fall of the body, their onward journey is called, the journey towards the heavens, towards the higher worlds, is called Divya Sanmarga. It is Divya, it is solar path. And there, once you drop the body, you are not left alone. There also, Lord Shiva is with you. He guides your journey to be onward, to be towards the destination, the final abode, the infinite being. And therefore, he is a friend of that path. He is a friend of a path which we choose to undertake, that is committed to alignment with dharma or cosmic justice. And so Hey Shambho Mahadeva, you are the one I worship who is in this form. Continuing with the next verse, here the fourth verse he says, Kandarpadarpagnamisham Kandarpadarpagnamisham Kalakantham Mahesham Mahavyomakesham Kalakantham Mahesham Mahavyomakesham Kandarpadarpagnamisham Kalakantham Mahesham Mahavyomakesham Kandarpadarpagnamisham Kalakantham Mahesham Mahavyomakesham Kundabhadantam Suresham Kundabhadantam Suresham Koti Surya Prakasham Bhaje Margabandhum Koti Surya Prakasham Bhaje Margabandhum Kundabhadantam Suresham Koti Surya Prakasham Bhaje Margabandhum Kundabhadantam Suresham Koti Surya Prakasham Bhaje Margabandhum Kandarpadarpagnamisham Kalakantham Mahesham Mahavyomakesham Kundabhadantam Suresham Koti Surya Prakasham Bhaje Margabandhum Kandarpadarpagnamisham Kalakantham Mahesham Mahavyomakesham Kundabhadantam Suresham Koti Surya Prakasham Bhaje Margabandhum Shambho Mahadeva Deva Shiva Shambho Mahadeva Deve Shashambho Shambho Mahadeva Deva Shambho Mahadeva Deva. So Kandarpa Darpagnam Isham, he is that Isha, that Lord, who is the Kandarpasya Darpagnaha. Darpam Hanti iti Gnaha. Darpagnaha. The one who kills the ego, the one who destroys the ego, the one who smashes the ego. Who is ego? Kandarpasya. Kandarpa is who? He is Manmatha, the god of love, remember? How he just brought him to ashes. And so Kandarpa Darpagnam Isham, he is that Lord who kills the ego of even the god of love. When that higher power violates his boundaries, violates his script, then the Lord does not spare even the celestial powers. And then he talks about here Kalakantham. Kalakantha is Kalakanteyasya. So Kalakantha refers to that yet another beautiful story of the Lord. So Maheshaha, this great Lord Shiva, who has such a overlordship of the universe, the only deity, the only Lord who could take the poison in his throat. And so is called Halahala. Halahala poison or Halahala poison. Both are right. And so this poison that emerged, there's another beautiful story of this what you call a Samudra Mathanam. the churning of the Milky Ocean. The churning. What churning was this? This was a churning for Amritam, immortality. As I told you, even the Asuras, the demonic powers, even they want immortality. What to talk of the Devatas, who are there only for a term. Devata's term may be our whole yuga, but for them it is still a term, a time period. They are not eternal in nature. They are there for a longer time, that's all we can say. For the 4 yugas they are there, we can say. And so this Kala Kanthe Yasya, Lord Shiva as Kala Kantha, in this story, it's a very nice story of how, it just started with a simple story of the sage Durvasa, a very powerful sage, who sees Lord Indra mounted on his elephant, God of heavens, and he offers him a garland of flowers. Lord Indra, puts this garland, gives it to his elephant, his vahana, his vehicle, and what happens, unfortunately, is that elephant crushes the garland under his foot. Sage Durvasa gets annoyed and he curses his powers of penance. In his annoyance, he curses the Devatas. In that curse, they lose their luster, they lose their powers, and then begins the attack of these Asuras, the negative forces. Remember, the Devas and the Asuras, they balance the universe. The good and the bad, they balance the universe. The day and the night balances the flow of time. So we had a balance, but then when the Devas lose their luster, the Asuras become more powerful and they keep attacking the heavens, the higher worlds. And so the Devas they seek help from the omniscient being again. They ask for help, and this time they are told that, they must take the nectar of immortality, Amritam. But where to get this nectar? It has to be churned. It has to be churned and brought forth. From where? From this Milky Ocean. And so how would they churn such the ocean itself to churn? It is not an ordinary churning, And therefore, what would they do? It was very clear they could not do it alone. They needed help of the opposite powers also. And so they seek help from the Asuras, hoping that when the nectar comes, they will be quick enough to grab the nectar before the demonic forces get to it. And those Asuras are very willing because they also want the nectar. And so these 2 forces in the higher worlds came together to churn this Milky Ocean. And for the churning, you need a churning rod. And you need some place to mount the rod. Because if it's not mounted, it will sink, it will get firmed up. It needs to be that which can be rotated. And so the Mount Mandara is requested to be the churning rod. Vasuki is the great king, becomes the cord, the rope for the churning. And the 2 sides come together. Vasuki, the great king of snakes, wraps himself around the Mount Mandara, and the 2 ends, his head and his tail, One side taken up by the Devatas, the other by the Asura. And the churning begins, but even as it begins, that rod sinks to the bottom. And they again seek help. Lord Vishnu comes as a tortoise, a turtle, and on his back the Mount Mandara rests, and it is able to now churn. When the Devatas take the head side of King Vasuki, the Asuras object. Asuras will always object. They think that it is demeaning for them to take the tail end of the snake. They feel they should be on the head side. Of course, Devatas always consent and they say, okay, you go to the head, we will take the tail. Little did the Asuras realize that when the churning happens, many precious treasures will emerge, but along with that will emerge this powerful poison called hala poison. And so when these different items emerge, like Kamadhenu, like Airavata, the white elephant which Lord Indra takes, Kamadhenu emerges, Parijata emerges, Kalpataru emerges, Mahalakshmi emerges, Dhanvantari emerges, Kaustubha emerges, many different animals and gems and precious treasures emerge from, they say some 14 items emerge from this churning. And unfortunately, one of the 14 was this poison. Every item was grabbed, taken away by different celestial beings. Who would take the poison? No one was there to take the poison. The Lord Devatas appealed to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva takes this poison. Why? Because this is a poison that can destroy all the universe, the entire world. When the poison began to emerge from King Vasuki, the Asuras who were right there, the fumes and whatnot, they could not even stand the fumes of the poison. And so this poison comes through and Lord Shiva swallows it. Why? Because he is the timeless. He doesn't need the pot of immortality, the nectar of immortality, nor is he afraid of the poison. The nectar will make the Devatas, the celestial beings, immortal. The poison will kill the very universe. These two extreme emerges from the churning. Well, Lord Shiva, when prayed to, he intervenes, takes that poison, and Parvati, his consort, is afraid of that poison entering into his whole beinghood, and so she holds his neck and the poison stops there. Neither it is swallowed nor it is spilled out. And so he is called Neelakantha, the blue-necked Lord Shiva, or Kalakantha. He is one who holds the dark mass of Kala, time. This is exactly what is really, the churning called life. Life churns you. It churns you. One side are your good thoughts, the other side are your demonic thinking. The demonic mind always wants to manipulate the good side, wants to be in the lead role and shift sides. The noble always give in. And what is it they both want? All all your negative patterns of behavior is also for the eternal peace, happiness. Positive behavior in dharma is also for peace and happiness. And therefore both sides in us are seeking the same goal, and that is amritatvam, immortality, the nectar of immortality. And when will this nectar emerge? Not before handling the hala poison. Just because I want eternity doesn't mean I'm ready for it. And therefore, this poison, the dark side, that which can kill, has come up now, and the seeker has to cross that, has to face that. He is unable to face, and he seeks the help of the divine. Divinity intervenes and swallows the poison because he is the timeless already. He is not in search of a nectar of immortality, and therefore he is not afraid of the poison either. Look at the symbolism here. And so with the divine intervention, this soul crosses and the nectar finally emerges. The last emergence in this Samudra Mathanam is Dhanvantari. Lord Dhanvantari comes with this pot of nectar. And everyone wants this nectar. Lord Vishnu knows the challenge keeping asuras away from this. And so to help the devatas, why does he want to help the devatas? Because they live their life in alignment to dharma, whereas asuras don't. And therefore Lord Vishnu comes in the form of this beautiful, enchanting, celestial being, this goddess called Mohini. And her very presence, she takes the pot of nectar, and her very presence absolutely the asuras are enticed by. They are so much struck and intoxicated and enticed by the beauty of this celestial goddess Mohini, who is none other than Lord Vishnu. And so they are more struck by her than what she holds. And while they remain distracted, that is called the asura mind, the demonic mind will always be distracted. If there is not one distraction, there will be another distraction, a third distraction, a fourth distraction. And so distracted as they were by the very form, they miss the boat. The nectar is distributed among the devatas, and they regain their power, whereas the asuras continue looking at Mohini's charms. Oh well. Symbolically, this story tells us one thing for sure, that if there could only be an appeal, a call for divine intervention, any demonic power that is out to kill you will be taken away, will be absorbed by the universe. That is the power of the omniscience. But have we prayed enough? Have we called enough? Have we asked for divine intervention yet? Obviously, COVID-19 is still around. Is still around means what? Divine intervention has not yet occurred. If the universe did intervene, all it would need is this small weakling which has no power outside the human body. Really, it has no power. It can mutate. Like many viruses have mutated, this one can mutate and die. What does it take for a virus to mutate and die? What does it take? You tell me. Prayers. Prayers. If we want divine intervention to help eliminate this from the universe, then enough of us in humanity need to pray to the Lord to intervene and do the needful, relieve us all from these troubles of today's times. And so, Kala Kantham Mahesham Mahavyomakesham. This is interesting. Lord Shiva spreads his hair, and the spread of his hair is such that it appears to cover the skies. When can he spread his hair? Only in movement, in rhythm, there is a spread of hair. In stillness, there is no spread. In stillness, there is fall. In rhythm, in movement, there is the spread. And this Vyomakesha refers to the Lord as being the very universe himself. He is Saguna and Nirguna. He is the omniscience, the knowledge, the unseen and the seen. And this Lord Mahavyomakesham Kundabadantam Suresham. He is Suresham, Surasya Ishaha. Sureshaha, Suranam Isha. He is the Lord of the Devatas. And he has such a luster. So, Kundasya Abaha eva Abaha Yasya Dantasya. It's just an expression of whose teeth are glistening, are lustrous, are so bright as the jasmine flowers, So the jasmine flowers, Kundasya Abaha, it's a poetic way of talking about the luster of the divine being. Koti Surya Prakasham. He is one, your one sun you cannot look at. He is one whose Koti Surya Prakasha. His light is unfathomable, unimaginable. It is as good as a crore of suns, 100 lakh of suns, 10 million suns arisen at the same time. 10 million suns rising at one time. What would be the brilliance of the universe? Can you imagine? I can't imagine. That is the brilliance of this omniscient being. Koti Surya Prakasham. And he is my friend of my little life journey. Bhaje Margabandhu. I invoke that friend to walk with me in my life path. We will close here and see the last verse tomorrow. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.